Okay, we are here with Ryo Montgomery, or Ryo.
Rio. Any? If you can
I
say.
heard Thunder Down Under since you're from Australia.
Yeah,
With the ukulele, right?
yeah, that's
So how exciting to be here at the Grammy Museum. Just be playing at this iconic place. Tell me a little bit more. What you're feeling right now?
it's pretty crazy. Like not many people, especially from where I'm from, from a small place, and not many people can say they played at the Grammy Museum in LA, which is cool. Yeah,
Definitely. Would you ever thought that you would be here playing on the stage?
Oh, it's always like a dream to play something like this, but I didn't really know it was going to happen or anything. So yeah, feels good.
Well, tell me a little bit about the story about you starting to play, because I read on the internet that your father owned a bar or something like that, and then so that's how you kind of got into it, because you sometimes would stay late. Tell us a little bit more about that story.
Cool. Well, I lived with my mother up until I was about 13, and she had to move away. So that's when I started living with my dad, and he had a nightclub called Jono's Blues Bar, which was a really iconic blues bar. They'd get so many great blues acts and things like that, and so that's when my schooling went downhill, because I had to stay back because he was in the house band. I had to stay back till like 2, 3 in the morning, and that's I used to play sports with mum, and then dad inspired me.
So your mom was more intramural, and then your dad was more the arts.
Yeah. Well, mum, I don't know. Yeah, her family's, they used to like run track and things like that. But yeah, so I was always into sport, and mum doesn't have a musical bone in her body. But yeah, and I made the transition with dad, and yeah.
So tell us, why the ukulele?
Well, I started because my father, he started on ukulele as well, and then he quickly went on guitar, and he always said, like, nearly all the best guitarists in the world started on the uke, like Tommy Emmanuel, George Benson, Jeff Beck, The Shadows, Chet Atkins, like all these, iconic players, and he's like, and they all say, like, because the uke is kind of, really kind of easy to pick up and play, but, hard to master at the same time, but because they learn all their technique pretty quickly on the uke, they could adapt it to guitar quick, and that's how they, got fantastic at guitar as well. So he just said, start on this and see how you go. And then, so I started that, then went on to guitar, then went back to ukulele, and
What was the draw for you to go from guitar and back to ukulele?
First seeing people like Jake and things like that, James Hill, and I saw crazy people like that. I was like, wow, man, they can play. Yeah, so I wanted to do that, yeah.
Oh, definitely. And then when was the first time, I know I talked to Ryan about this, when's the first time you realized that this is something that you could do professionally and move forward? Ryan said that it was, posting YouTube. What was your epiphany of realizing I want to do this for a living?
Yeah, well, I used to always playing like I still do playing like blues bands, but playing guitar. And then when I started playing the ukulele a lot, I was like, oh, this is different, and it can, and that's how we got into like pretty big festivals in Australia, because it was like a unique thing, because a lot of people, even still in Australia, kind of, they look at it as like a silly little toy kind of thing. So once they see you can do some crazy stuff on it, it's cool.
So maybe you could play with the didgeridoo and ukulele.
I can't do that, but yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Very definitely. And tonight you guys are playing Beatles. What's inspiring about the Beatles, and why the Beatles?
Well, George Harrison, he wrote a lot of songs on the ukulele, and and he came up with. I read somewhere where he came up with lots of crazy chords on the uke, because it's got the high G, so you can get all these weird like inversions, and I think a lot of the ukulele inspired them. Yeah.
And for you, if you were to have another tour, is there anything specific that you would love to play on that tour, aside from the Beatles or something like that?
Well, I've always loved blues and like jazz kind of stuff, so I love to do that, and a bit of Latin and things like that. So, but it's always cool to throw a Beatles thing in, because everyone loves the Beatles.
Definitely. And then, just tell me a little bit more. How have you been received? I mean, do you have a lot of fans? Do you have a lot of people asking to say, I don't know if you do stuff on YouTube or whatnot? Do you have people that ask you to play different songs or whatnot?
Sometimes back at home, I haven't played so much like internationally, but yeah, at home they'd always, ask if I can post a video of, something or like one of my techniques. But yeah, that I think they're generally happy with what I play, which is cool.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go. And then also, you're on this tour with KoAloha. How did you get involved with KoAloha?
They came. There's a fest where I'm from. It's called Cairns, in like right on the tip of Australia, and there's a really good ukulele festival there. And they came and did. I was really involved with the festival, like helping out and playing and things like that. And they KoAloha guys, Alan, Paul, and all the managers came out and they did like workshops, like building workshops. And I met with them straight away and kind of we became family. And then they offered to take me around, which is very cool. Right. Yeah. So. And
then you were talking about workshops. Was there any particular workshop you said, I'm solid, I want to be doing something with the company or whatnot?
Yeah. Well, I didn't see them do the building workshops, but just meeting them. They just like I've talked to like some other companies, but KoAloha just make you feel like your family straight away, and it just felt good.
And then right now, going back to the Grammy Museum, are you totally nervous? How are you feeling right now?
I was a little before because it's kind of a big thing to me, but it should be right. They got Ryan going first, so I can just watch him. Yeah, so I'm not going first. That's good.
Definitely. And then to take us out, give us a little something that is uniquely Ryo.
Okay, cool. All right.
You can't stop that uke down from down under, right? Good job. So lastly, shout out any of your social media that you have so everybody can check you out and see what you got.
Yeah. Well, got the website, themontgomerybrothers.com, and then Facebook, the Montgomery Brothers or Ryo Montgomery, and then I got all the Instagrams and stuff like that just under Ryo Montgomery. So yeah.